I was forced to marry my bully. Then he fell in love with me. Part 1, the wedding announcement. There were many things Noah Carter hated. Waking up to the sound of his alarm, running out of coffee before school, teachers who assigned homework on weekends. But above everything else, he hated Ethan Blackwood. Not because Ethan was rich, not because Ethan was popular, not even because Ethan was the kind of person who walked into a room and made everyone notice him. Noah hated Ethan because, for the past 3 years, Ethan had made his life at Archeon Academy feel like a never-ending battle. Archeon Academy was the kind of school people dreamed about attending. It was a place where the children of politicians, business owners, celebrities, and wealthy families studied. Everyone there had a reputation. Everyone had a family name to protect. And everyone knew one rule: never cross Ethan Blackwood. Ethan was the heir of the Blackwood family, one of the most powerful families in the country. He had everything Noah didn't: money, influence, a perfect reputation. Teachers I respected him, students admired him. People moved out of his way without him even asking. But Noah was just Noah, the scholarship student who got into Archeon Academy because of his grades, the boy who wore the same few jackets every week, the boy who refused to pretend he was impressed by wealth. And apparently, that was enough to make Ethan notice him. The first time Ethan bothered him was during their first year. Noah had been sitting alone in the library preparing for an important exam. He remembered the moment clearly. The library had been quiet, peaceful, until a shadow covered his desk. He looked up and saw Ethan standing there. "You're sitting in my seat." Noah looked around. The library had dozens of empty chairs. "Your seat?" Ethan nodded. "The one I'm looking at." Noah stared at him. Then he went back to reading. No. That one word changed everything. Most people would have immediately moved, but Noah didn't, and Ethan wasn't used to hearing no. From that day on, Ethan seemed determined to make Noah regret refusing him. He would take Noah's books and hide them before class. He would make sarcastic comments whenever they were paired together. He would challenge Noah's answers in front of teachers. Sometimes it was childish, sometimes it was annoying, and sometimes Noah wondered if Ethan actually enjoyed seeing him angry, like now. The hallway was crowded as students rushed to their next classes. Noah stood at his locker organizing his books when the noise around him suddenly changed. People became quieter. Some students stepped aside. A few whispered, "He's here." Noah didn't need to ask who. He already knew. Ethan Blackwood. Noah closed his locker slowly. A few seconds later, Ethan stopped beside him. "Move," Noah sighed. Not today. He really wasn't in the mood. "You have a whole hallway." Ethan looked at him. And you can walk around me." A few students nearby immediately looked interested. Everyone loved watching their arguments. It was like free entertainment. Ethan leaned against the locker beside Noah. "You always make things difficult." Noah crossed his arms. "Funny. I was about to say the same thing about you." One of Ethan's friends laughed quietly. "Careful, Ethan. He might hurt your feelings." Ethan ignored him. His eyes stayed on Noah. There was something strange about the way Ethan looked at him, like he was trying to understand him. But Noah ignored that feeling because Ethan Blackwood didn't care about anyone, especially not him. "You know," Ethan said, "most people would be grateful if I talked to them." Noah raised an eyebrow. "Should I be grateful that you ruin my day every morning?" A few people laughed. Ethan's expression changed, only slightly, but Noah noticed. For a moment, the confident mask slipped. Then it returned. "You think you're funny." "No, I think I'm tired." Ethan stepped closer. "You're always like this." "Like what?" "Like you don't care." Noah frowned. That answer surprised him. Before he could respond, the bell rang. Students began moving again. Noah grabbed his books. "Great, class." He walked away, but as he passed Ethan, he heard him quietly say, "One day, you'll stop running away from me." Noah stopped. Slowly, he turned around. "One day, you'll stop being obsessed with annoying me." Their eyes met. For a second, neither of them moved. Then Noah walked away. He didn't see the look on Ethan's face afterward. A look that wasn't anger, a look that was almost confusion. The rest of the day passed normally. At least, Noah thought it did. He attended classes, ignored Ethan, argued with Mia about whether cafeteria food could legally be called food, and tried not to think about the strange feeling that something was different. But when he arrived home that evening, he immediately knew something was wrong. His parents were waiting in the living room, together. That alone was unusual. Usually his father was working late and his mother was busy with her small business. But tonight, they looked serious. Noah dropped his bag. "What's going on?" His mother smiled nervously. "Come sit down, Noah." He immediately became suspicious. Whenever adults said, "Come sit down," something terrible usually followed. "No, his mother blinked. "No? I'm standing. I feel safer standing." His father almost smiled, but the seriousness returned quickly. "Noah, we need to talk about something important." Noah slowly sat down. "Okay." His father took a deep breath. "Do you remember your grandfather?" "Of course. He made an agreement with an old family friend years ago." Noah frowned. "What kind of agreement?" His father looked at his mother, then back at him. "A marriage agreement." Silence. Noah waited, then he laughed, because that was the only possible reaction. A joke. A very strange joke. But a joke. Nobody laughed. His smile disappeared. "Wait." His voice became quieter. "You're serious?" His mother reached for his hand. "Noah." "No." His heart started beating faster. "No, don't tell me this is real." His father looked away. "The agreement was made before you were born." "This is insane. We didn't have a choice." "Everyone has a choice." "Noah, no." He stood up. "You can't us decide I'm going to marry someone." His mother looked hurt. "We never wanted to force you." "But you are." The room became silent. Then his father said the words that changed everything. "The person you're supposed to marry is Ethan Blackwood." Noah froze. The world seemed to stop. For a moment, he thought he had heard wrong. "Ethan." His voice barely came out. "Blackwood?" His parents nodded. And suddenly every argument, every insult, every moment Ethan had looked at him, it all felt different. Because the person Noah hated most in the world was the person he was supposed to marry. Noah didn't remember walking to his room. One moment he was standing in the living room, staring at his parents like they had just announced the end of the world. The next moment he was sitting on his bed, staring at the ceiling. Ethan Blackwood. The name repeated in his mind like a bad song he couldn't turn off. Out of every person in the world, it had to be him. Noah grabbed a pillow and covered his face. This can't be happening. His phone buzzed on the table. A message from Mia. "Mia, you disappeared after school. Are you alive?" Noah stared at the message. He almost typed, "No, my parents just told me I'm marrying my biggest enemy." But that sounded so ridiculous that even he couldn't believe it. Instead, he typed, "Noah, I need to tell you something tomorrow." The reply came instantly. "Mia, that sounds terrifying. Should I bring emergency chocolate?" Despite everything, Noah smiled slightly. Mia always knew how to make things feel less impossible, but even chocolate couldn't fix this, because tomorrow he would have to see Ethan. And now he wouldn't just see him as the arrogant guy who annoyed him every day. He would see him as his future husband. The thought made Noah immediately sit up. No. He shook his head. No way. He wasn't accepting this. A piece of paper signed years ago couldn't decide his life. He would talk to Ethan. He would make it clear. Whatever this arrangement was, it was not happening. The next morning, Archeon Academy looked exactly the same. Students laughed in the courtyard. Teachers walked through the halls. Everyone was living their normal lives. Everyone except Noah. Because Noah felt like he was carrying a secret too heavy for him to hold. Mia noticed immediately. She walked beside him, studying his face. "You look like you haven't slept." "I haven't." "Did something happen?" Noah opened his mouth, then closed it. How was he supposed to explain this? "Hey, Mia, remember the guy who has been bullying me for years? Apparently I'm going to marry him." It sounded like the plot of a ridiculous movie. "Mia," she stopped walking. "What?" "I need you to promise you won't laugh." Her eyes widened. "That's serious?" "Promise." "I promise." Noah looked around to make sure nobody was listening. Then he whispered, "I'm engaged." Mia blinked, then blinked again. "You're what?" "I'm engaged." A slow smile appeared on her face. "Wait." She looked excited. "To who?" Noah's expression became dark. "Ethan Blackwood." The smile vanished. Completely. No, exactly. Noah, that's not funny. I know. You're serious? Unfortunately, Mia stared at him. Then she looked down the hallway, as if expecting Ethan to appear and reveal this was some horrible prank. But unfortunately, fate was not that kind, because right at that moment, Ethan walked into the hallway. Perfect timing. As always, students immediately noticed him, but Noah noticed something else. Ethan wasn't looking at the crowd. He was looking directly at him. And for the first time, Noah wondered if Ethan already knew. Their eyes met. Neither of them moved. Then Ethan walked toward him. Mia whispered, "Oh no." Noah agreed, "Oh yes." Ethan stopped in front of him. The usual confidence was there, but something about him seemed different. "You know." Noah frowned. "Know what?" Ethan looked around, then back at him. "About the arrangement." Noah's stomach dropped. So he knew. "You knew?" Ethan didn't answer immediately. That was answer enough. Noah laughed bitterly. "Of course you knew. Don't do that." "Do what?" "Assume you know everything." Noah stepped closer. "You knew you were supposed to marry me and still spent 3 years making my life miserable." For the first time, Ethan looked uncomfortable. Students nearby started whispering. They could sense something was happening. Ethan lowered his voice. "It wasn't like that." Noah stared at him. "Then explain it." Ethan was silent, and that silence made Noah angrier. "Exactly," he turned away. But Ethan grabbed his wrist. Not hard, just enough to stop him. Immediately, Noah looked down at their hands, then back at Ethan. The hallway became quiet. Ethan quickly let go. A strange emotion crossed his face. Regret. "I'm not the person you think I am." Noah laughed. "That's the funniest thing you've said all year." He walked away. But as he left, he heard Ethan say something quietly. Something nobody else heard. Something that confused him. "I was trying to protect you." Noah stopped for half a second. Protect him? From what? Before he could turn around, the bell rang. The moment was gone. Later that day, Noah received a message from his father. "Father, the Blackwood family will visit tonight. They want to discuss the wedding arrangements." Wedding arrangements. The words made Noah feel sick. Everything was moving too fast. A few days ago, his biggest problem was passing his exams. Now he was planning a wedding. With Ethan Blackwood. The universe clearly hated him. That evening, the Blackwood family arrived. Noah expected arrogance. He expected coldness. He expected Ethan to act like he owned the world. And he was right. Mostly. Ethan entered the house wearing a black suit, looking completely calm. Like this situation didn't bother him at all. Noah hated that because Noah felt like his entire life was falling apart. Everyone sat in the living room. The parents discussed dates, locations, family traditions, while Noah and Ethan sat silently across from each other. Finally, Noah couldn't take it anymore. "I need to talk to Ethan." Everyone stopped. His mother looked concerned, but she nodded. The two of them walked outside. The night air was cold. For a few moments, neither spoke. Then Noah turned toward him. "Why?" Ethan looked at him. "Why what?" "Why did you bully me?" The question was simple, but Ethan's expression changed, like Noah had asked something he wasn't prepared to answer. "You really want to know?" "Yes." Ethan looked away. For the first time, Noah saw something behind the perfect image, something broken. "Because you were the only person who didn't treat me like Ethan Blackwood." Noah frowned. "What does that mean?" Ethan was quiet. Then he said, "Everyone at school wants something from me. My money, my name, my family's influence." He looked back at Noah. "But you didn't care." Noah didn't know what to say. "So you decided to make my life miserable?" Ethan sighed. "I was trying to get your attention." Noah stared. "That is the worst excuse I've ever heard." "I know." The honesty surprised him. Ethan looked almost ashamed. "I was 16. I was stupid." Noah crossed his arms. "You're still annoying." A small smile appeared on Ethan's face. "At least you're talking to me." Noah immediately looked away because for a moment, just for a moment, Ethan didn't look like a bully. He looked like someone who had no idea how to express what he felt. And that scared Noah more than anything, because hating Ethan was easy, but understanding him, that was dangerous. Noah thought the conversation with Ethan would make things easier. It didn't. If anything, it made everything more confusing, because Noah had spent years convincing himself that Ethan Blackwood was just a cruel, arrogant, rich kid who enjoyed making other people miserable. That explanation was simple, easy. But now there were cracks in that image, and Noah hated it. Because understanding Ethan meant admitting that maybe, just maybe, he had never truly known him. The next week was the strangest week of Noah's life. The marriage announcement had not been made public yet, but behind closed doors, both families were already preparing. And somehow, Noah and Ethan were expected to act normal, which was impossible, especially when they still had to attend the same school. Every morning, Noah expected Ethan to return to his old behavior, the sarcastic comments, the teasing, the annoying smirk. But Ethan changed, not completely. He was still Ethan Blackwood, still confident, still impossible. But something was different. He stopped taking Noah's books. He stopped embarrassing him in front of teachers. He stopped finding excuses to bother him. Instead, he started helping him, and Noah didn't know how to handle that. One morning, Noah walked into class and found his favorite seat already occupied by Ethan. Noah stopped. "You have got to be joking." Ethan looked up from his book. "Good morning to you, too. You're in my seat." Ethan glanced around the empty classroom. "Your seat?" "Yes." "The seat you always sit in?" "Exactly." Ethan closed his book. "Interesting." "What?" "I've known you for 3 years, and you never once complained about people taking your seat." Noah frowned. "'Cause nobody takes my seat." Ethan raised an eyebrow. "So now I'm special?" "No." Noah grabbed a chair from another desk. "You're just annoying." A small smile appeared on Ethan's face. "There he is." Noah looked confused. "What?" "The Noah I know." "What does that even mean?" Ethan didn't answer, and somehow that bothered Noah. During lunch, Mia watched the two of them from across the table. She looked suspicious. Very suspicious. "What?" Noah asked. She narrowed her eyes. "You're acting weird." "I'm eating." "Exactly." "How is eating weird?" "Because you keep looking at Ethan." Noah almost choked. "I do not." "You just did." "I was looking around." "At him?" "No," Mia smiled. "You're confused." "I'm not." "You are." Noah looked away. "I hate him." Mia nodded. "Sure. I do. Of course. I mean it." "Okay." Noah stared at her. "Why do you sound like you don't believe me?" "Because 3 days ago you said if Ethan ever spoke to you nicely, you'd assume he was planning something." "He probably is." "And yet you haven't accused him of anything." Noah opened his mouth, then closed it. Because unfortunately, she had a point. That afternoon, something happened that changed the way Noah saw Ethan. After class, Noah was walking through the back hallway when he heard voices. He recognized one immediately. Ethan. But the second voice was unfamiliar. "You think you can hide this forever?" Noah stopped. He wasn't trying to listen. At least, that was what he told himself. But something about the conversation felt wrong. He moved closer. Through the slightly open door, he saw Ethan standing with an older man. The man looked angry. "You are the Blackwood heir," the man said. "You don't get to make emotional decisions." Ethan's expression was cold. "I made my decision. This marriage is supposed to benefit both families. It is not a business deal." The man laughed. "Don't pretend you care about the Carter boy." Noah froze. They were talking about him. Ethan's jaw tightened. "You don't know anything." "I know exactly what you are doing." The man's voice became lower. "You're trying to protect him." Noah's heart skipped. Protect him? Again? Why did everyone keep saying that? Ethan stepped forward. "If anyone from the Blackwood family tries to hurt Noah, they answer to me." The man's expression changed, almost like he was surprised. "You really care about him." Silence. Then Ethan said something Noah never expected. "I always have." Noah stepped back. His breathing became uneven. "Always?" That didn't make sense.